The closed guard is one of my favorite positions in jiu-jitsu. We can attack, our partner has to open our guard before they can initiate any offense, and best of all, there's really cool omoplata setups from there. So I'm going to show you a setup and a half from the closed guard. So the first setup, a lot of times, if people decide they want to stall, wrestler guys will do this a lot, they'll cage your hips. You see how Eric's elbows are outside my hips and they're kind of pinching down? So if I try and move my hips out, it's hard. I call this next one the stall-oplata, because if he's trying to stall, I'm going to lift my hips, flare the elbow, and push. And you can see that kind of an entry. And this is true for any of the other setups we've shown so far, right? If he has a grip here, I can double up on this arm and flare it out. But if he's a little more savvy, and if he postures up, right, and he gets normal grips. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a cross grip, and we're going to attack still from the closed guard. Now the cross grip is one of my favorite things in jiu-jitsu, because we can always expose our partner's back. We can also use it to enter the overhook guard like we did earlier. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this cross grip to get Eric off his base, underhook this left side leg, my left side, and I'm going to use this to enter the omoplata. So first, cross grip, 4 fingers in the sleeve, my knuckles are against the back of his wrist. I'm going to open my guard and step on his shoulder. As I step on his shoulder, I'm going to come up and under. You see how that kind of gets him off his base a little bit? He has to compensate his base, allowing my arm to come palm up under his leg. As we do that, I'm going to lift my hips as high as I can, and something that we'll return to, I'm going to stuff his sleeve in my pocket. One more time. So, got the cross grip. I need to get him off his base a little if he's hunkered down. So I'm going to angle out, step on his shoulder. As I get him off his base, I come up and under his leg, lift my hips as high as I can, stuff the sleeve in my pocket. Now, sometimes this is an exception to grabbing the outside of the pants. If we already have this underhook, a lot of times you can just flatten them out here and enter the omoplata position. So one more time, let's do that from a different angle. Let's do it from this angle, actually. Key detail of this, and this is going to become more important when we get into the setups when he stands. I want my hips as high as possible to isolate his arm, and I want to make sure to shove his sleeve toward my pocket, toward like the left side of my pants. So I get my cross grip. I'm going to angle my hips out, coming inside, stepping on his shoulder. Get him a little bit off his base, come up and under. Most important, I'm hooking with my calf on the back of his lat, lifting up, shoving. Now, again, ordinarily I would transfer and grab for the pants back here, but as long as I have this underhook already, I'm still going to usually be able to flatten it when I come up. Then we're going to finish the omoplata. So, closed guard. I want you to remember the 2-on-1. For almost all of the setups that I show, if you're having a tough time isolating his arm and flaring his elbow with one of your arms or with just your hips, you can double up on that arm, push the wrist, and flare the elbow to set up the omoplata. If he's a little more savvy and he's actually trying to pass your guard, then we may be able to do things like the cross grip that gets him off his base and sets up our high hips for the omoplata.